I'm Amy Rodrigues, and we are here with Sydney Good today. This is part of Canine Chronicles' new segment called Time Will Tell, and we're going back in time and asking people questions, the historians of the sport, people that have so much knowledge about how the sport used to be, and we're going to get to know them a little bit better. We're going to ask Sydney 2 questions today and maybe bring her back for a Zoom call later to get to know her better. But the first question is, Sydney, how did you get started in dogs?
My family bred Dobermans, so I was about 8 years old.
Dobermans?
Yes, that's my initial breed.
Wow, I did not know that.
Many people don't. They associate me with visuals later on, but no, I was a Doberman person. And in fact, I finished the grandsire of Kryptonite.
Wow.
He was a litter mate to my Doberman. So many years, then junior showmanship.
And how did your parents get started?
A good friend of theirs who was a mentor made them buy this chicken farm on Staten Island, and he said, "You need to build a kennel." You know, and they did. My uncle worked for the city of New York, but my aunt got a Doberman, and Pandy, that was the first one, and she liked her, but then she did something. I forget who her mentor was, but got involved. And at that time in the Northeast, you had everybody. You had Stem, you had Jane Kay, you had Tess Hensler.
These are the names. If you don't know these names, listen now.
Yeah, all of these great people competing. So, and at those times too, we had some bench shows, and they would sit and talk. And I was the kid, so I was the one that just sat and
sucked it all up like a sponge.
So yeah, that's it. I was in junior showmanship when I was old enough. I could show the dog puppies when I was younger at mat shows, but I couldn't show the males. My uncle would not let me show the males
Because they were too big for you?
They felt they were
too strong.
And so from then on, I became, I was a teacher, actually. That was my profession, my real profession. And then I became a licensed handler, which was done away with in 1977 when I went to work for the AKC.
Explain the difference between a licensed handler and what we have today.
In those days, Mr. James Brumby decided who was going to be a handler or not. The same with judging. When you hear about the good old days, oh yes, he was vice president. He was Mr. AKC, and he decided all of that. So when you hear, you don't hear too much anymore because a lot of those people are gone. Oh, the great old days. Yeah, Mr. Brumby didn't like you. You didn't judge. Like that's why there were so few terrier judges, because he was very picky about his terrier judges. Okay, so licensed at that time, you became a licensed handler, and it was very strictly regulated. You were subject to investigations and
they come to check out your vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
And how you cared for animals. Did they come to your kennels
at
home?
More so just the vehicles.
At the shows.
Yeah, but when you applied, you had to show you had kennel facilities.
Got it.
And you had to be, if your name was on that dog in the catalog, you better be on it. And so it was very strict, much more strict now
than it is
today. Than it is now.
And we're going to end it with a funny story, something different when you first started showing dogs. Maybe you were new. What was a funny story in the beginning of showing dogs?
Oh, wow. That's a long time ago.
How dog shows were different than they are now, too.
Well, when I was in juniors, okay, I'll tell about a junior story. Then we had to own or co-own the dogs, and I had this good friend who had standard poodle. Well, I forgot why. I think there was I couldn't get my bitch in because there was a ring tied and it was conflicting. So she let me take one of her poodles. Well, the poodle got loose in the junior showmanship.
Try to catch a poodle.
And Eric Tomei, who was the judge, because at that time the judges were handlers, and junior showmanship judging was every day at 1. So he said, "I'm not looking," but he
just
was
catch the dog.
Right, laughed, and that was that. But yeah, that was sort of like embarrassing too. But thank goodness the poodle ran to her. So that was
there you go. All right, thank you, Sydney.
You're welcome.
And we'll hopefully arrange a Zoom call where we can learn more about you and the history of what started, the good old days that you hear about, because time will tell. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.